Hi, we're Ideas May Appear with
Nick
and Sivia, and we just watched Chapter 11 to Riverdale and Back again. The Riverdale show. Anyways, we are reviewing Riverdale. Holy fucking shit. Holy shit!
I'll never not feel tense when I watch.
Every episode, when you and I watch it, I think you and I are the loudest we ever watch shows watching this show.
Oh my god, definitely.
I have to say, okay, so many things to cover. One, I'm a little bit pissed. Of course, my beloved Jughead and Betty. I'm not calling them Bughead. I don't like that nickname. But I'm a little annoyed because for the most of the episode, I really enjoyed the way they were written. I was like, yes, please, thank you for once a CW show or a freeform show doesn't rely on the drama of a relationship.
Yeah.
Because I don't like when couples are constantly getting together and back together again. I don't believe they're real. I'm constantly thinking, okay, well, if you're getting back together, how can I believe your relationship is real? So I was upset that it was really good, the whole episode, and then at that very end where Jughead was thinking Betty was a part of the whole checking FP's trailer. I was like, please don't do that. You know better. But we see in the next preview, they seem like they probably get over their shit.
Yeah. Yeah, he was just... We discussed this. Betty's not bad.
You shouldn't lay on the table because it will shake the mic.
Sorry, I just did it. So when Alice was inviting Jughead and Forsyth to dinner, she instantly was like, what's going on?
Yeah.
And, of course, Alice admitted to nothing, but she was like, she knew.
Yeah, Betty's smart.
So what she did was, Jughead seemed so happy that everything's going to be normal.
It touched my heart!
She didn't want him to... I mean, this is the first time he's feeling positive about the world in his life.
He feels like a normal family situation.
She didn't want to tarnish that for him, so instead of telling him, she sabotaged it by inviting her dad.
Which, by the way, hold on.
Good move.
Betty... Okay, the thing I really like about both of them is I like them as a couple because they're ride or die. There's never a moment where Betty is dumb and into Archie. Even when she's upset at Archie and Veronica, she's never like, it's because they're together.
It's not because they're together.
She's always just like, you betrayed my trust after I asked you. She's that ride or die. She was like, do not check his father's house. He told me his father isn't that. I believe him. I respect him. That's how great she is. But something I really appreciate more than just the fact that they have a great relationship and they're really like, it's so great and refreshing to see on a TV show, like an actually compatible couple really showing those moments. Like, I don't like when a show is like, well, they're meant to be together. I'm like, but I don't see them I don't feel the connection. Like, they have so many memories and moments and it's only been a few episodes of them being together. But their individual personalities coming out, because I really like that Betty is fucking, like, she is the apple that fell from her mom's tree because she's finally not being so naive and really being smart to invite her dad. Like, I love when she basically is like, oh, surprise! Oh, Mom did invite you. She did want this. Yeah, it's like
you're gonna surprise Jughead. I'm gonna surprise you.
And then when Jughead is being like, even though he's very quick to be suspicious, we've actually seen him be a little more cheerful. The way both with Archie and everyone, he isn't aware that they're all questioning him for his father's motives, but he's kind of smiling and being like, you're being so weird. I know you just want to see your raven-haired princess. Or when he says to Betty, he's like, you didn't tell me at the dinner party. I really appreciate their development in, like, I like that Jughead, because this is the thing that's really realistic about him and still amazing. People who have been through really hard times or have trust reasons, which I am clarifying this, have a reason to. I hate when people who haven't experienced that type of, or any type of drama, are like, you need to calm down and mellow out. Now, I know if a psychologist heard this, they'd probably be like, you sound like a crazy person. But I personally believe, yeah, you can learn to trust people, but let's be real. When you've been through that, you understand the possibility of the untrustworthiness of people.
Looking for patterns.
And let's be real here, that's not a necessarily bad thing. It's just something you've been through, and you can keep an eye out for. So for him to make that decision to want to be open and be okay with the idea, like, he's never embarrassed about his dad's past, or he's like, let's try this. Even though he knows her mom is a psycho, he's still willing to try it.
Yeah, that's huge.
That's amazing. I think that's really admirable and beautiful to do, but not in a weird, unrealistic way. And he doesn't act dramatic about it. Like, it's just, I like that you can see his face changing when he's like, what's happening? I can tell, But.
Well, what I was going to say was that, so what Betty did was good, but we both agreed that the best thing to do would have been to tip Jughead off.
I think
that way when
they
this
better
happened,
not keep this relationship going, the relationship distrust issue going on for an episode. But I still agree.
It's getting kind of old.
Yeah, but I hope they resolve it quickly. However,
he didn't seem as mad at Betty as he was at Veronica and Archie.
I will say this though: he full on said, and to think I was going to skip out on going to New York,
leaving for Toledo, yeah,
for Toledo. Just for you. Like, that was a mean, quick comment. And a comment that was pretty serious. But I'm like, please don't stop throwing those words around. This is my hypothesis. And this is just between you and me, obviously, and whoever's listening to this. I understand that they are making that choice to write him like that once in a while. But in my personal belief of everything they've set him up as a character, I don't think he would do that. I don't think he'd be so harsh. He's actually a lot more sensitive to that. I think the first time he had that moment of outburst, like I think it was last episode or the episode before this, that felt believable. And he can have a once in a while because he's been through crap. But at the end of the day, the way he was so quick to understand Betty and Betty where she's come from and be accepting and loving over such a serious issue, I think he would be quicker to believe her and ask her what the deal is than just snap and say such a mean comment. I think that's more CW going, drama! And I'm like, please don't do that. I actually enjoy the show more if you're just real. I mean, they met HBO. It's like, they're not trying to snap, crackle, and pop every fucking moment. Sometimes great moments are just by himself silent and chill. And it just says a lot. You know what I mean? But besides Jughead and them, by the way, let's just say, you know how I have the sex tape list? Now adding on the list, I don't know if I've said this before, but Alice and FP, they would be a hot couple, which we talked about. We think when he was bringing up...
we think that he's the father of her child.
FP heard Alice and her father arguing during prom night when they were in high school. And we definitely know that she was one time was pregnant, most likely when she was at the same age. And I agree with you. I think FP is the father of that baby.
I think he's the father. That's especially why that guy was like pressured her into getting an abortion.
Yes. Oh, more than anything.
Because it's one thing, obviously, to have a kid when you did not plan on having a kid and you're 18. Any age. Yeah, at any age, but especially when you're 18.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, at any age. And then it's a whole other thing for that kid's dad to be, Southside Trent.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or honestly, not yours. A lot of guys have a big problem with that.
Yeah.
Like it's a, just an ego thing. If it's not mine, can't be.
Yeah.
Because you're mine.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. So, yeah.
I know the show just makes you go quiet and think, and just like I'll look off.
I did like at dinner when she was just asking him so many questions, and all he said was, "Oh, the dance takes me back."
He was quick. I like that everyone in this moment was quick to defend themselves, but I especially love when she invites her dad, or no, at the very end, when she says, I'm going to go look at Jughead, and this is what killed me and touched me. I have a personal, memory, especially with you, that I identify with this scene, but when she's like, that's my family. He's my family. He's even more my family than you. I was really touched by that moment, and I like when she's like, don't push me, or I'll push back. And her mom looked down and was not scared, but okay. And this is the part that I loved, is, you know how I always talk about how she played Shelley from Twin Peaks? She gave us a Shelley face, a little, oh, all right. That was so sweet. I gotta tell you, I was, staring at her today, and when we were watching the show, she's so goddamn pretty, and she's so fucking thin, especially for her older age. She preserved well. I just thought, man, she probably hasn't had a donut in 6 years. That girl, I mean, you're only that thin if you
for that long. Yeah.
I mean, she looks like she really kept it off and worked hard at it, so good for her. But, going on, so my little heart strings pulled a little bit because we only got a moment of seeing Kevin and Joaquin, but you can tell Joaquin, they didn't show his face, but that's what I'm talking about when I say subtle directing and acting. When it's you can tell as Kevin's I've never had a boyfriend. I've never brought anyone to the dance. I've always just had hookups with causes. And you can tell Joaquin, I think Joaquin does feel the same way back, but he knows because he's in the relationship for false reasons. You can just tell he's like... Which, by the way, what do you think? Do you think Joaquin originally... This is what I think. There's two hypotheses. Do you think he went and picked out Kevin because, you know, FP was like, go be with that kid, go get inside information, he's the sheriff's kid, you're both gay, make it work? Mm-hmm. Or do you think, and this is my hypothesis, they hooked up? It's kind of hot little forbidden thing. Kind of had a natural click. He saw they were hooking up. He goes, good, give me information.
I'm 55% what you just said.
But it could so possibly
and 45% the other way around. 55% being that they hooked up and Forsyth knew what was going on. Was like, okay, you want to hook up with him? I have a job for you, or else I'll expose your sexuality to the rest of the snakes or something like that.
This is in Riverdale. They're not homophobic, clearly.
Okay, fine, but you work for me. You have to do
you're
this
in the gang.
thing. You're
this
in the
is
gang.
The deal.
55% that, 45%. I know you like guys, and so does the sheriff's kid.
You know,
make it work.
Honestly, the thing that's nice about it, though, for once, is it kind of makes me think of, like, let's say it was the sheriff's kid was a girl and it was a guy.
It would have been the same thing.
It would have still been like, hey, you're about their age. Make it work.
Being gay has nothing to do with it. The only reason it's a thing is because Kevin Keller's a guy.
But let's be real here. And, not only is he gay, but he is like from what we see in the Southside Serpents, he is like one of the only kids closer to his age.
He's like the
so it's a double win.
He's like one of the younger.
So it's like, hey, make it, go. You're the same age, but also it's like, well, you happen to be gay. Enjoy yourself for like wanting it.
That's why I think it's kind of weird for Forsyth to be like, you're gay. The sheriff's kid's gay. Hook up with him. I do honestly think that they hooked up and Forsyth was like, all right, well, actually, notice you got close with the sheriff's kid. I don't think he'd
be smart enough to say, and like we said before, it's not a gay or straight thing. I don't think he'd be smart enough to say, someone go hook up with the sheriff's kid.
Yeah, that's just like, sounds too weird.
I just think that he wouldn't be smart enough to be like that, but he sees an opportunity.
He saw that they were getting close and he was like, yo, fill me in. You're close with the sheriff's kid. That means I need you to do this, this, and this. Now, whatever it is the fuck he's doing, like, all we know is that he was like, hey, the kids think that, like, Hiram has something to do with Jason Blossom's murder. Oh, those kids are smarter than we think. That's all we heard. It's like, Joaquin,
especially
what have you been doing this whole time?
Was, like, grilling Jughead about his script. Part of me, when he was thinking back to his dad with the whole Jughead, he was like crying in the trailer.
He probably thought,
I think that was his moment, hopefully, of connecting to being like, my dad was asking me all about that.
Yeah.
Hopefully that was his connection that moment.
It was like I was saying before. Mm-hmm. Archie and Veronica, like, fuck them. Mm-hmm. But I still don't want Jughead to be mad at them forever.
I know! And this show does a good job replicating Archie's vibes.
He can be mad at them for a while, but he needs to patch things up with Betty right away.
Yes.
Because, like, we both agreed, the best thing for Betty to do would have been to let Jughead know, but
I don't think that warrants a mean conversation.
She didn't do it to keep anything from him because she didn't trust him.
No.
She did it to keep it from him because she didn't want him to be hurt, and she fix the situation in her own weird way.
Honestly,
and I appreciate that.
If I was him, I think it would be okay to be like, listen, I'm a little pissed. You need to tell me about that shit. You need to let me know
these things. Don't do anything on your own.
I see that you tried. Yeah. I see, because Jughead's smarter than that to notice the weirdness.
The two of them really shouldn't do anything on their own because it's just such a clusterfuck of things. They need to
we'll skip over this real quick. Archie and Veronica break into FP's house because Veronica can't let it go, which to a certain degree I get it with her character. I
think she wants to put her dad away because maybe he's abusive. She doesn't want him in the house.
Or at least I don't think she's, from what we heard her conversationally being so naive with her mother, I don't think she knows he's abusive, but she now feels his abusiveness and potential of abusiveness and dangerousness. And I think she's just aware of, like, she's really moral ground and she's just, like, fuck this guy. He's not a good person. I feel guilty even justifying him.
Yeah.
But I'm protecting my mom. Which, like, now I know my dad's... I mean, if you thought
Clearly
your family was
horrible.
cool, that's devastating. If you thought your family was cool, and then to have that serious of a matter...
Yeah, no, clearly he's terrible, and she just doesn't feel safe around him because he fucking blackmailed her.
Which is weird.
I don't know if... Does Hermione know about that? I don't think she does.
She doesn't. And, so I don't blame Veronica, and I actually like how they set it up for Archie. Again, I was thinking about this. I was watching, again, we always plug and love the Black Nerd, Andre. But Andre said something, he said that, and we said this before he said this, when we heard this, when we were watching his review, but he made a good point when he was like, Archie, what is shaking? Was that you? Oh, okay. No. Oh, I think you're hitting the lamp directly behind you. So Archie, goes out of his way, and this is what I'm trying to say. Archie's someone who, like, makes a lot of mistakes. Yeah. And so, but he's, like, lovable, makes mistakes, oh, whoa. And I thought, you know what? They perfectly captured him as a character because he does do a lot of things with a good intention, and this was definitely one of those moments for Jughead. I will say this, though, clearly him and Veronica are into each other. I support, but I also like that they're dragging it out. It's not that I want them to be dragged out. That's not it. It's more just like, I don't really want to see them as a couple quite yet, and I don't want there to be any weirdness between, like, then he's with Veronica, and he goes up, because we know he's not consistent as a person, and then Betty has to get involved with counseling them, and then maybe Betty has a moment where Jughead thinks that they're into each other. I mean, I can't have it. I don't want
that. That sounds so shitty.
Let's be real here. Veronica knows that even though Betty is totally with Jughead and isn't into Archie, she really does value enough of the friendship and wants to keep... I mean, she's just being smart. She's like, Yeah. But, their connection feels way realer than him and Val. I wish I had Val making a face being like, guys are real cuddly up there on stage.
If anything, I'm glad that we didn't see her do that, because I'd like to think that she doesn't care.
Now, I want to... Agreed. Now. Yeah, because Val wasn't at prom. She was on her keyboard, listening to some good-ass music on vinyl.
Why weren't the Pussycats playing at prom? Why was it that fucking was weird. Archie?
Josie had new hair. She had cool braids. I liked her pink. She had pink tips in the braids.
She didn't sing. What was that about?
They sang in the beginning, but that was like about it.
They sang in the beginning of the episode. Maybe they did play, but it was
also what happened to
was going down.
Asian dude bro Reggie? We haven't seen him in a little bit.
Yeah, I don't really care about him.
Yeah, but I like him popping up for a second. At least Kevin popped up for half a second. You know what I mean? And
Kevin's more of a character than Reggie is.
Also, like, obviously, I'm glad they're not using characters, like, falsely in the sense of, like, yeah, I do not want people just to pop up, so I do appreciate that. I agree. They shouldn't use him unless it's necessary, but I do think, I wish I used Josie and Val and Melody more, because there's actually quite an interesting dynamic to the way they interact with other people, their family lives. We don't know Melody yet, but hopefully maybe she gets more of a storyline. And even Val. What's Val's life?
One day Melody will speak.
Yeah. What if Val is not similar to Jughead in the sense that, you know how he kind of comes from a tougher background? But what if Val's parents are, like, absent? Like
I could see
she
that,
comes, like, she has a home, there's food in the fridge, she's safe. But
that's it.
But, like, they're just out. Yeah. And they're workaholics or something. And so she's, like, chill about it. She's not, like, she's not whiny about it, but she's just like, yeah, I'm just used to being alone. Yeah. And maybe Jughead and her, and I don't mean romantically, I mean purely friends. Like, she becomes part of the friend group more because they kind of have that, like...
That'd be interesting.
Wouldn't that be fun?
That. Yeah.
So anyways, I'm just down with that. Anyways, but now let's talk about our coolest part. I have to say one of my favorite parts. Cheryl. She's my favorite bitch. Yeah. I love her. I don't think I've ever loved...
evil person anymore. I mean, she's, like, so confusing. So first, she catches Polly. She knows that Polly's only in the parents' room, not to get retro accessories for the dance, but to snoop around.
Polly's the worst detective ever.
Polly's a fucking moron. Polly is an idiot.
If they had, you know, I'm thinking in my head the way the comic is drawn. If they had, like, a one-time limited edition release of Detective Polly, she would have, like, I'm putting my hands on my cheeks and opening a big O mouth and just, like, a little, like, oh, and, like, shocked look. And then she has, like, a little detective, and maybe she's, like, dropping the evidence in front of, like, the bad guy or something. Like, I think that'd be a great Polly moment.
Anyway, so
Polly goes in there with Cheryl. They
find the ring that Jason used to propose to her, and Cheryl gets mad at Polly, and then Cheryl, you know, is like, oh, well, you know, Like, don't think that you're safe here. And
which bummed me.
Her mom drugs up Polly, and Cheryl seems okay, and then Cheryl.
Which I said whenever I saw those milkshakes, I was like, "What's in those milkshakes?"
And then Cheryl's like, "Oh well, I thought she'd bring down the toilet so that Polly wouldn't have anywhere to go." Blah blah blah. And then
we know she has the ring.
She puts a mirror up to Polly's face to see if she's still alive because she does care. She puts a blanket over her, and we see she has the ring. So it's like, why do you have the ring? Because you're obsessed with your brother, or you secretly want to throw your parents off and help Polly? You know, and it's like, or do you care that Polly's alive because of the baby that's inside her, because you care about her, or because you just don't want your parents to be in jail for murder? You never fucking know.
She's been raised a blossom from day one. I think ultimately when push comes to shove, she's on her brother's side and Polly's side. She sees herself as a blossom. But I think in the end she truly is more leaning that way.
I love how her dad, and I feel like this would have worked a year ago.
Did you hear her when she said, a wig for every day, every mood?
I love that her dad, and this would have worked a year ago when she was less smart, was like, oh, all this time we were primping Jason for the role when really we should have been
him. That's creepy.
You because he didn't have the stomach for it. And they thought, oh, this is exactly what she wants to hear because that's what's so psychotic about them. It's like we treated her like shit her entire life.
We know this is what she wants.
This is what she wants to hear. Like they're acknowledging how fucked up they are, and they're like so happy to.
They think they're so smart and tricky.
And I love that she hid the fact that she was skeptical of them, but she didn't fake excitement.
Oh, when she had that dead voice, and she was like, I threw the ring down so the evidence, that it wouldn't be evidence against us, it would be our word against hers. And then she just, like, looks so bored about it, and she's just like, did I do the wrong thing? And they're like, oh, look, she's protecting our name.
She's
we
like,
groomed her well.
She's like, my parents, I can manipulate my parents so easily, it's boring.
Yes. Cheryl's my favorite. One thing I really like about Cheryl is I've never been more intrigued by someone because, first of all, at the end of the day, she truly is like an innocent person compared to like freaking Hannibal Lecter. Like she's not a psycho.
She's innocent compared to most people because the kind of psychological abuse that she's been through is like really traumatic. It's traumatic in the way that it changes personality.
But she's really interesting. I appreciate that she does go back and forth. I don't see that as a bad written character. It
makes perfect sense.
Because it's like on one hand, okay, so when she freaked out on Polly, at the end of the day, it's not that she's defending her parents, my personal opinion. I think she's a little bit of robotic of like, I think she takes solace in her name, not because she thinks she's better than people. I think it's all she has. And so part of her, it's not that she's with her family, it's just part of her, it's like it's like when you're younger, you take solace in it's like, I might not like my family, but I can at least know like they're my family. There's some sense of safety in it because she's never been truly liked by anyone. So when she's defending herself against Polly, it's like, fuck you. No. But at the end of the day, she's not completely disagreeing with Polly, and she was smart enough to keep that ring because she doesn't trust Polly with it because she wants to make her own opinion. She doesn't want to go down the drain. She doesn't want her parents to go down the right drain. But she's smart enough to know, like, what the hell, Dad? I know Jason wasn't fond of you. I know the abuse you put me through. Why the freak do you have this ring? He wouldn't throw it at you.
Yeah.
Why would he throw it at you? Also, I can't help but be like, this is a little bit shady writing. Why does he have the ring? Why wouldn't she have the ring? Wouldn't it be safer with her?
That's a good point.
But, loved Cheryl. Also, Polly, you idiot. Part of me is like, oh no, are they going to just constantly drug her all the time? And also, girl.
Oh, she's pregnant.
Wake up.
Constantly.
If she's still at that house in the next episode, I'm going to literally be like, girl. Like,
she's an idiot. Well, you know what? Yeah, she's an idiot. I was going to say that they were probably worried that she would use the dance as a way to escape.
I was hoping for one scene where when they were like over her body and Cheryl's saying that, I would have loved one shot where we look and like Polly's got like one eye open and she faked drinking it and threw it down the toilet and faked the drug thing to know that. Polly's not that smart
enough to do anything like that.
It's such a Debbie Downer.
That idiot probably took a sip, gave that look that she gave to the camera.
Where she's like, I'm scared, I'm suspicious.
This tastes a little different. And then drank the whole thing.
Can I say something? When Cheryl grabbed her, as much as I love Cheryl, I'm like, Cheryl's like 5'3", and Polly is actually pretty tall for a girl. She's like 5'10". And I'm like, how did you overpower Polly? And Polly, come on. Like, I have to say one thing I really don't like about Polly is, initially when we met Betty, we kind of thought she was almost like Polly in the sense of being like, oh my god,
yeah, but
you like me, you don't like me, oh no. And I really appreciated that she changed and it was just a temporary thing. And honestly, we saw a really in-depth to her pretty quickly. With Polly, it's like, oh, you were such a freaking Daphne, is it? Always getting damsel in distress, Scooby-Doo.
Yeah.
It's like, girl, get it together. Like, come on. I think she's kind of annoying. I don't like her as a character. I would be happy if she fell off a cliff.
Polly does suck.
Polly sucks.
She's an idiot.
But I gotta tell you, of course, I love, though, at the end, when Veronica and Archie are like, actually, we don't think your dad, or Jughead's dad.
I do like at the end, yeah. It was like, it was really fucked up that I was really fucked up that they did that, but at the end of the day,
at least they can admit
the
what's
only reason
true.
that they did it was really for the case. Not for any personal reason.
And they're not trying to screw over the dad.
So now that it's if anything, ironically, it's going to end up, well, I would guess that it's going to end up really good for FP, that they did search his house and break in, because
they have that.
They can say, we went in there, we didn't find, there was no gun. Now, I guess they can say search the
just don't think dust for our, anything to do
they
with
can
it.
say dust for our prints, and that'll prove that we were there. But they can't prove that there was no gun. So
they might be incarcerating themselves by being like, well, did you plant the gun? If you're saying, you know what I mean?
Which is like,
it gets tricky.
It's weird, but like, I guess they would have to suspect that.
I have to say, though, one thing that particularly helped me in was that preview video where they're all watching, and they're clearly watching a video, probably a surveillance video.
Somehow
it's probably the murder of Jason, probably.
It has to be, unless it's like some other murder that happens. In which case, I'll be like, great.
Grundy shooting someone.
5 years from now, we're going to learn who killed Jason.
I will be pissed, though, because now this is my trailer watching expertise. I feel that they said the last 2 episodes, and they showed a bunch of preview stuff. That's a possible compilation over 2 episodes, over 2 weeks. What if that scene is the last scene of the last episode, and we don't get to know what they saw until the next season? I would punch them all in the face.
The thing that really sucks is that I think that you could be really onto something there.
I'm good at watching trailers.
I don't know if you're right.
Honestly, if I was an asshole, like, director wanting people to watch my shit, I would end it on that, because they'd show up for next season.
I want every season to be, like, a different thing that happens.
I want someone to die every season.
So, and it gets gradually crazier every time, so this one...
I want them to, like, move to Seattle and be, like, a little detective crew.
No, I want to get weirder over time. Like, this first one's a murder. Mm-hmm. The second one, it's like, I don't know, like, ghosts. The third one, alien invasions.
Like the X-Files in Riverdale. That'd be crazy.
Like every season, it's like weirder and weirder and weirder.
Did you see Jughead's notebooks at Untitled? I'm curious what he's going to name it. That will definitely...
Probably going to name it...
What if it ends with the manuscript being put down and the title is like, it hints at the name of the person or something?
I need
to take control of this script.
Okay.
I've got so many ideas. What if the name of
his manuscript is?
What?
Riverdale.
In Red Blood?
It's Riverdale.
Oh! Come on, high five. Wait.
I was making a joke.
Wait.
I was thinking that's really fucking lame.
What were we watching? It was the part when Betty's dad comes in. You and I literally screamed and, like, slapped each other. We were like, oh, shit, Betty! We were like, yeah!
When we were really freaking out when FP was, like, giving it to Alice.
Yeah. By the way, loved Molly Ringwald's character giving shit to Alice. Yeah, but the whole polyamory and calling her out on her shit. And of course, like the little sniveling girl, she pretends she's on her phone and she's unaffected by the words, but you can tell she's like quickly like, oh damn, she knows my plan.
I like that Molly Ringwald's character was like, I know that he's probably been fucking her. I don't care.
I like I also really liked, in a complete
to be
seriousness,
fair, she did separate from him.
And I did like that she actually was really nice about the girl, Hermione. And I like that she just smiling was like...
I thought that it was going to lead up to her being mean to Hermione, but she really wasn't. She just made a shady remark about her husband.
I wonder if she'll be in the next episode, because she did give Hermione a little bit of a once-over. You know, just a little bit, because clearly, you know, they all did go to high school together. But, I will say this, though.
Yeah, I think Hermione said something about, like, what is this, revenge for, like, basically, like, me being a mean girl in high school?
No, Hermione says, like, this is, like, not revenge, but, like...
Karma.
But I think that was, like, a nice, peaceful comment, being like, girl, I'm spelling it out for you, aren't you happy? Like, not in a mean way towards herself, but being like, but can we be cool now?
Yeah. Like, her life is horrible.
Damn, I'm pretty freaking pumped. I don't think I have anything else to say.
I don't have anything else to say. This is,
except the last comment, just like Molly Ringwald's character being like, I thought Riverdale was safe. I want you to live in Chicago with me. I'm literally looking at her being like,
I'm gonna be like,
really?
There was
Chicago compared to one murder.
There was one murder.
I actually didn't know Chicago was so rough until you told me, to be honest with you. I didn't think it was innocent. It is a city. It's a city. Like, I know, like, not to be terrible, but like, if you have that amount of population of people, there's going to be the occasional murder.
The police ironically ruined it, because what they did is they cracked down on every, like, gang lord.
Oh, yeah, you told me this.
So they took the top out of every gang, and so now people just kind of run around, and it's so random. It's ironically more violent because they just don't have, like,
they can't pinpoint where,
like, they don't have, like, full on, like, this block of people are
this way,
and they don't attack each other. Like, they don't have that. So, but anyway,
I think that's
what was
everything.
I was gonna say, yeah, like, one murder happened in Riverdale. She's just trying to take Archie away from Fred.
She is Alice. She's the Red Alice.
Like, she's not nice. I think that she knows that Archie's not in danger, because like, let's face it, murders are horrible, but the murder that took place was clearly an isolated incident, in that it was some sort of conspiracy because somebody did something
and I don't think
to the wrong person and got involved in the wrong way. It's not like they were a victim of some random violent killing, and Riverdale's a violent place. Yeah. It's like, it's very unfortunate, but it's not something that would happen to anybody in Riverdale unless they somehow gotten that specifically bad situation. Yeah. She knows Archie's fine. She knows all his friends are there.
She's conspiring.
She just wants to take him away from Fred.
Well, let's be real. He's not leaving. I am a little worried about Jughead leaving for, like, but an episode, but thankfully when his dad got arrested, I was like, yeah, now you're gonna have to stay. I do have to say, though, I am curious.
I want to know what FP's involvement is, because FP knows something, but I don't think he did it.
I completely think he's innocent, but I will say this, though.
And the fact that somebody framed him. Yeah. Somebody definitely did frame him,
what does he know?
Who would do that?
What if he was, like, friends with fucking Jason Blossom? What if they drug deal together?
This whole time he didn't have anything to do with the murder, but he knows that if whatever his information is gets out, he could die. So what he's trying to do is basically,
maybe he saved the jacket for sentimental reasons because they were friends.
Well, what I'm thinking is this:
I like them.
So Jason's already dead, right?
Yeah.
So there's nothing he
can
do. If
Jason Blossom shows up in the 3rd season, I'll shit myself.
Well, I'm telling you, by then they're going to be doing supernatural stuff, so he'll come back as a ghost.
Yes.
And there'll be a ghost war.
Yes.
Apocalypse.
Yes.
Between redheads.
Maybe Alice will be a witch.
Redheads and everybody else.
Oh, Alice will be a badass witch.
No, but anyway, what I was going to say was, okay, so Jason's dead. There's nothing he can do to help the situation.
Yeah.
If whatever he knows gets out, it could lead to the killer, and the killer will know and kill him.
Yeah.
So he's not going to say anything. He doesn't want to die. So maybe, and this is probably wrong, but I'm wondering if this is the case, maybe he's trying to make sure that that information doesn't get out, because if people uncover it, he'll be a suspect.
That's what.
And he'll get
but to be honest with you,
anyway.
I've been thinking that from the beginning. That
have you really?
Yeah.
So instead of having anything to do with the murder,
yeah,
it's that
because for a while I was like, I just don't think he even killed him, or was it? And then I was like, not over time, but like right away I was like, you know what though? I bet you maybe he's involved enough that it's not that he killed him. It's just like whatever Jason was involved with, he could get in trouble with,
rather than conspiring...
Maybe they sold the same bad drug or something.
Rather than conspiring to kill Jason or knowing of a conspiracy to kill Jason...
I just want to know, why would they kill Jason Blossom? What did he do? What did he know that was so serious? Because we were hearing... show set it up where it's like, dun, 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 this is what he know. What is it? I will also make a comment that I wonder if anything will be done towards the next 2 episodes, because... we only got a small shot of it. It wasn't super seriously done, but when Veronica and Archie were being, like, clearly affectionate on stage, by the way, they're the perfect, like, are we going to be together? Are we not? Because they're both kind of very flirty. Then I'm like, oh, perfect for each other. I just forgot her name. Cheryl. I was going to call her Charlotte. Cheryl, got pretty upset. And remember, she's mad at Archie, too. Because I think part of her developed a little bit of a crush. She's been kind of developing it.
He reminds her of Jason.
And she sees, like, let's be real, no one's all fucking connection between Val and her. But she sees a genuine connection between them, and that upsets her. Yeah. So I wonder if that will be a thing.
I could see her being jealous of
By the way, I cracked up so goddamn hard when, like, literally they're doing shots of them. They're singing the song, and they're doing shots of everybody. And you even see Jughead, and he's kind of got his chin up, and he's, like, bobbing his head, and he's, like, having a good time. And I only caught it at the last second, but everyone's having a great time. Everyone's good, and they don't make it a big deal at all. But you look right underneath Jughead, and you see Betty, and she just looks so dead-eyed upset. Like... I died laughing because it's really subtle. They're not trying to point to her. It's just such a great moment. Like everyone's having a great time.
It's like they conspired against me and Jughead. And they're just having a great time right now singing a song.
Yeah,
because like at the very least, could they be nervous right now? Yeah. Could they be like withdrawn?
Do my feelings mean
could
nothing?
Their performance be shitty?
Come on,
how are they doing a perfect?
Because they're psychos.
Okay, don't get me wrong. The song was shitty, and I don't like the way either of them sing. Mm-hmm. But, like, they didn't mess up. It was a flawless performance. Yeah. They were confident way.
After Archie had stage fright.
You're confident, you're smiling, you're flirting, you're singing the song perfectly, and you just betrayed basically your best friends.
Yeah. It's bullshit.
How is that possible?
I was thinking the same
At the very least,
thing.
Could you be like, I don't know, throwing up in the bathroom.
Something nervous that you might lose friendship.
Sick. Oh, sorry, I couldn't perform. Or if you do, it's bad.
I was thinking the same thing.
She's like, I can't
one thing I liked, though, that Betty didn't tell him, even though I agree with you on a personal note that she should have told him. Think about it. Betty and him are new to being in any type of healthy relationship.
Yeah.
I think it's like her to be a little bit safe and try to handle things herself after all the shit she's been through with her own parents.
She thought that she could keep him happy, not knowing,
to be fair,
and fix
at
the
least
situation.
She did fix the situation, and she was standing up for him. I personally think, despite him not knowing that, and that's the problem, and I get that from his perspective of being like, but I don't know that.
We are both very disappointed in Veronica and Archie for not in the hallway in that moment saying, Jughead, she really didn't know.
They didn't say
that. It was like
they're like the little fuck boys they are. They were so quick to
you can't help her out. Do you know what you put her through by doing this? And you made her look a certain way, and you know she was against it the whole time, and you know you fucked up because you didn't find anything. And you're fucked. You can't at the very least help someone out who had nothing to do with it. That's so low. That really pissed me off. I was like, no way. Like, fuck the both of them. Like I said, I don't want him to hate them forever, but, like, they can't be that cool anymore. That was ridiculous. Like it's like you guys were so happy to just... Not so happy, but you were so willing to, like, share the blame with somebody that didn't do anything wrong that was against you.
Yeah.
But
I'm so, like, listening
sharing the blame, I guess, you only get 33.3% of the heat as opposed to 50%. It's like,
I do appreciate, though, even though I liked this episode, was it the episode before this one? Because remember we had the week in between where there wasn't an episode, which I don't know why. Like, what holiday was going on that they couldn't play an episode?
Yeah. we can't play this episode because when people get high, they don't want to watch TV.
What was I going to say?
The Lost Weekend, the episode before this?
I think it was the one with the shitty editing where you and I were like crazy.
No, that was the one before that.
Okay, it's I can't remember what happened, but you and I talked about it on that episode. Like, you and I love this show, and we go, oh shit, and we curse. But, like, that one particular episode, I can't remember what was happening in it. You and I were stressed the fuck out. Like, honestly stressed out. I appreciate that they didn't make that the new norm of emotion. Like, I appreciated that.
No, it wasn't the one with the fast editing. It was the last weekend where we were really stressed out. And I think it was because of Chuck coming back. And then, like...
that was...
That in combination with all those people
fun.
at Archie's house. And I was really afraid... It was
a very embarrassing moment of misunderstanding. We were so worried about Jughead and Betty leaving each other, Betty being found out, Archie's psycho.
I was really...
Chuck's just being creepy and rapey.
Yeah. And I was worried
Why does Chuck gotta be a rapist?
It's fucked up. I was worried about
He just wants to
Archie
draw
and
comics.
Kevin and Jughead and all their safety, because I thought that the plan was going to be actually that, like, Chuck and, like, a bunch of his friends were going to come in and, like, smash things and beat
nervousness
them up.
for a lot of reasons.
That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Honestly, it was the whole truth or dare thing was kind of fucked up, but I was relieved. Because I was like, okay, at least nobody's getting hurt, and, like, Fred Andrews doesn't have to come home to a fucked up house. Hey, for all those people, the house stayed in pretty decent shape. That is not realistic.
Well, he just cleaned it up afterwards. They were lucky that,
Yeah, but nothing got broken? Are you
it's
serious?
Riverdale. Well, anyways, I think that's everything.
That
was pretty, like, concise.
The grand piano.
I don't think there was much to say other than, like, black and white statements and feelings this week, which was great.
It was...
I don't mind it.
Ironically, probably one of the best episodes so far. A lot less to say this time around.
But not because I think bad, but I feel like other episodes,
not bad at all.
There's so much going on.
I guess they may have left a little more open.
I think this was more straightforward.
They didn't... I don't think they need to leave things open.
Let's put it this way. Okay, so when there's, like, the last 3 episodes of a season, I always find... I know people would probably disagree with me, but I always find... So the way it works is the last 3, the third one before the second one is usually... Whoa, did you hear that insane car turn?
Yeah.
The third one is, like, most people can be kind of shitty about it and a little bit lame about it because what they're doing is they're realizing, oh shit, it's the last 2, but I don't want to give it all away, so we'll give a little bit of a setup. This one they were still trying, which I appreciated.
It was really good, yeah.
And then the last 2, it's like where shit hits the fan. I hope they don't do this. I don't think they will because they've been pretty good writing so far. But then the last episode, some shows will kill it the whole way through, and I find a lot of shows will. The second to last episode was that great, and then they go to have the finale, and you're expecting this big finale, but they really rely on the last 10 minutes of the episode, but the whole episode kind of feels like, what are you doing? You're building tension, but nothing's fucking happening.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't think it will happen, though. Actually, Riverdale has surprised me how good it is. Will it last forever? No, CW cannot possibly make a show last forever, except Supernatural, but...
Yeah, they can make Supernatural last forever.
I have not been interested in Supernatural this particular season. We don't really know what's going on. But fucking A, the season 4 of this one was nuts.
And this one's probably good too.
Out of 12 goddamn seasons, if you can have my interest, even fucking 4, let alone... I would say, I'm not kidding you, I don't know about every single... No, I've watched them all. They're all that good.
My problem is only that I have not watched enough episodes to, by season 8... I'm kind of... By season... Like, I haven't seen, like, season 8, so, like, season 10, I'm lost. I don't know as much about Castiel as I should. I don't know what Crowley is. I don't know what the...
And you should watch it with me one time.
The lightness,
Wait. You know why you should watch it with me, though?
It's too much.
Do you know why you should watch it with me, though? That is very exhausting, and I agree with you, but don't watch it for that, sincerely.
But I have no idea what's going on.
But I'm saying, I would happily with you, if you want have free time... picking up from a season you are familiar with and watching it, because don't worry about what the shenanigans of what's going on. We know they're always going to live and everything's going to be fine in the end, so it's like, whatever. But it's the development of watching someone like Castiel go from a badass to kind of, gentle and kind of funny to weak to back and forth. Then when they're no longer doing that whole back and forth of emotional thing with him and Dean and that kind of thing, there's a point where, like, him and I'm just totally blanking on his name. Is it Crowley? Crowley. God, I can't believe I flipped his name. Crowley and him literally are together on, like, their own detective show for a couple episodes, just, like, solving cases together, but in their, like, goofy, like, Castiel trying to be a detective, but like he's a little bit better at it, but he's still weird. Crowley constantly being sarcastic and being like, "This is hilarious. I'm even like I should burn their souls up. Like I'm like the fucking devil right now. I'm the king of hell at the moment." And Castiel just being like, "Crowley." Like it's so good to watch their various relationships change, and that's what interests me. So I'm just simply saying that that's one of the rare. That was a random supernatural tangent, but I think this show's gonna tank definitely, if not by the 4th, but I think it has a good vibe of possibly tanking near the 2nd or the 3rd.
I'll just enjoy while it lasts because, like I said, no,
enjoy what you can.
They have to.
But for now, it's some pretty fucking good writing I've heard in a long time.
What they have to do
it's better than Game of Thrones.
Is make a different. I'm tired of arcs spanning seasons. Yeah. I know a lot of people like that, and I know technically it could be considered good writing, but I don't like it. I mean,
Twin Peaks even answered it in the second season.
Make a different story every season.
Make your own kind of music.
And I don't care if Riverdale literally becomes, like, you know, half the town are possessed by demons, or the cars are coming alive, or aliens are popping out of cornfields, or, you know, I don't care. But it has to go in different directions. It cannot be the murder of Jason Blossom for more than one season. And then after after they solve it, it can't be like, well, there's another mystery in the town that's like not really that great, because that's the problem with Twin Peaks. For a while, when they solve the murder, there's like a lot of weird like little shit going on about like conspiracies and white collar crimes and stuff, and it's like, I don't care. I really don't care. And then it gets really good at the end of season 2 with the whole White Lodge and stuff like that. But like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
I do know.
I don't want that to happen in this show where it's like,
I don't.
The second season is just like,
but you know what? Oh my god! Stuff. Sorry, I scared the shit out of myself. Hell? There was a bug. I scared the shit out of myself. Scared me. I got scared because it was a bug, and then as I shocked myself, and then right after all that immediately happened, I went, "Oh, it's just like a little bug." Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to do that.
No, it's okay.
And this is the thing though that I really think. I'm not kidding you, and I'm saying this. I know if someone's listening to this, they're hearing that statement, they're like, better than Game of Thrones. But hear me out.
Oh, yeah.
As much as I love, and I'm a huge Game of Thrones fan, I just feel that while I love Game of Thrones, and I'm just comparing it to such a great show, it's been a really long time since I've experienced a show where literally from beginning to end, dense things are happening in both relationship development as whatever. Even Game of Thrones has some seasons or moments where you're like, oh, I get it, they're evil, or oh, I get it, kind of tense, or it's like, this is like straight up shit is always freaking happening and developing, and it also doesn't feel like pulled out. Like even Archie's relationships don't feel like, oh great, another girl. It doesn't feel like that.
No episode ever feels long enough.
Which is great. I appreciate that. But I feel like I had one last thing to say, but I just can't think of it. I don't think it's like important. What were we talking about right before I mentioned Riverdale and Game of Thrones? What were we mentioning like right before that?
That you don't think that they're gonna...
Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
Oh, I remember. I do want to make this point. Okay, I think this would be an amazing way to end the first season, or at least like Twin Peaks answer it in the beginning of the second season. So if it doesn't finish on it at this point, we definitely know who did it. Let me know within the first 3 episodes of the second season, let me know who killed Jason Blossom, but leave it not so obvious like Hiram killed him or something like that, or hired someone. It's like, and also why, maybe Hiram did have someone kill him, but why? Like, let me be like, okay, now we have a whole season going, why the hell did they kill them?
Wait, what
Or it's not like the police know, but they know and they can't say, but
what if
why?
It's something fucking wild? Like,
I want it to be Kevin.
It was the ghost.
Just something
baby,
nothing.
It was the ghost of fucking Polly's great-grandfather.
Stop.
That would be fucking
I know
wild.
You're going to fun twist, and I agree with you, but realistically...
And
wait,
technically
let's make
it was the Blossoms, and he was doing some dark meditation in the graveyard to summon his
Do you think they're going to be bullshit, and they're going to introduce a new character who killed... I don't want it to be a new character. Because
no, that'd be so stupid.
Because you know why? I'd be like, even if you tell me a backstory of why they did it, I didn't get this whole season to be into them. I want it to be someone we know. I want it to be like, holy fucking shit, it's them. Like, who do you take
Yes.
Wait. Take your guesses right now. We can always change it. You can always change it. Who do you think killed Jason? I don't have, I don't really know. So, let's be fair here. We both really don't know. They really have left it that way. But for funsies, just pick someone. You don't have to be 100% behind them. For funsies, I'm thinking... Oh, shit.
Just because it's so random.
Oh, shit.
And just because it's so
And then
random.
I would left going,
why?
But why?
And then we find out in the next season.
Okay, I'm thinking...
I'm going to clarify right now, though.
Wouldn't it be crazy?
Literally, the only reason why I'm saying the mayor is because it makes no sense. Mm-hmm. That's the only reason. I have no supporting evidence, and
do you
it
know
probably
who I
isn't
actually
her.
think it
but
could be, in
wild.
all honesty?
Betty's dad.
No, I mean, I did have that in the back of my head because I think, not because he's suspicious to me, but in my personal opinion, I just think, well, they're picking someone kind of on the outskirts, we kind of know. I would like it to be, and I would like it to be interested, and I would believe it if it was his parents, because, and not just his parents.
Whose parents?
Jason's parents, the Blossoms.
Yeah.
But how sick would it be of being but why? I don't think they're not so psychopathic to just fucking kill him because he didn't listen to them, or because he got some girl pregnant.
Because they're delusional enough to think that they can convince anybody to do anything.
Also, they really do love him. As much as they
way,
if they killed him, it would have to be for a fucking crazy reason, and I'd be down to wait and hear that.
It's possible that maybe the sheriff did it.
Do you know what
That's another crazy. Do you want
to hear Jason's?
The sheriff could have done it.
Hear me out, and I can't decide. Do you
or Mrs. Grundy?
Yeah, like I said, I know. Oh, that was my guess. Miss Grundy. I picked Miss Grundy. I picked Miss Grundy.
I picked Grundy.
I picked Grundy. Okay, we're on Grundy.
I picked Grundy because we already know.
Plus, why? Why would she fucking kill him?
We already know that shot fired on July 4th was not the shot that killed him. And she didn't want to have anything to do
I don't think she did it, though, but...
I think she did now.
Okay.
If it's not her, then it's either the mayor or the sheriff. It has to be somebody good.
So you know how into the second season, I would really... Or the end of the season, I just want to know who Jason Blossom's murderer is. Now let me get this point out before I forget. That's why I was like, I gotta say this. 2 things. Would you prefer more as an audience, we found out who the murderer is through our main characters, and we're all together like, they did it? And maybe the killer doesn't know we know, and they don't know how to tell it, or they don't want to go to the cops because they know that they can get rid of the evidence, and we go on this whole journey of how and why and blah, 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 and that's why it gets pulled out longer. Or, second is, would you prefer that we see, so let's say Cheryl's parents did it, right? His parents did it. We see them put away, the gun, and they went, that's why I had to kill, or we had to kill Jason, I hope we don't have to do it to Cheryl. We know, but no one else knows, and we have to watch our characters develop, learning that Cheryl's parents did it.
No,
which prefer
I like the first one because I think that there can be some really good writing in the second alternative. However, I think it get boring always knowing. I'm always a little bit bored knowing. Yeah, I know, and they don't know, so I have to I know. You have to watch no them matter how wild it is that they get to that conclusion, what crazy things happen in between. The fact that I know the end game, that they're going to find out something I already know.
Same. As soon as I said that, I was bored.
Even if it's a twist at the end, and you find out,
I just don't care.
Whatever we saw as the audience was wrong. It's like,
it's not worth the payoff.
But that's still that episode or two of believing at the time that I knew.
Guess what? I don't want to rewatch those episodes.
Well, what I was going to say is the fact that I thought I knew and I was bored watching it. It's not any better knowing that I was wrong. I'll still be bored for those episodes.
I think this is my mental game plan that I think would be the best. So they find out who the killer is, right? But they don't say anything to the cops. They don't immediately turn them in because they know they have to get harder evidence. And in having harder evidence, in addition to having harder evidence, can you kill that bug next time you see it?
Yeah.
I don't know where it went, but
it's okay.
In addition to having harder evidence and being into that, they know they can't say anything because they have to get 100% proof and why, and we're on the journey with them. They need to be smart and just be like, this is how Jason died. It's okay if you want to keep it a little bit in the beginning second season, but you better not do 2 goddamn seasons of oh, Jason, by the way, we're all making out. Guys, remember Jason died? Boring. But Then after you find him out, there you go. You can pull it out a little longer.
Yeah. Well,
I think that's everything.
I agree. I think that's everything too.
Well, where ideas may appear with
Nick
and Sivia, and have a great day.